is this the best time for you to buy any pair that is related to euro to euro? I go by the name Waweru Kelvin. I'm a currency trader. And also a trading coach at RatePulse Markets. Now, this is let me just give you a very good overview on what we are actually looking at when it comes to Euro USD and any other pair that is related to euro to euro. Now, euro is a base currency. Now, you get to understand. There was a video. I did these videos and also shared my screenshots on my social media accounts, whereby I was actually highlighting everything that I'm expecting when it comes to euro and USD. Now, let's go and check on the euro currency index. If you check on the euro currency index, we can see very well the zone that I had already highlighted as a demand zone, where I should be waiting for the price to get, then looking forward to buy. We are actually in that area. Now, if you have not watched the video, you can consider going and watching the video. It is already in the channel, so that at least you get to understand how I was doing the analysis. I shared my technical analysis, I shared my fundamental analysis, and also shared the technical analysis, and then gave out the approach. Therefore, having said that, let's go and check on the Euro USD tomorrow. Remember, today is on 8th of January 2026, whereby tomorrow is on Friday, which is the first Friday of the year and also the first Friday of month, whereby we shall be having NFP at the beginning of the first quarter. Therefore, this is actually what we did. I highlighted this one and said that this one is actually a very good support zone, support zone, whereby it will be a very good retest when the price will be coming back into this area. And therefore, this one, I highlighted this one as a demand zone, and I went down into the 4-hour time frame and actually narrowed it down, and I gave you the reason why I'm calling this one as a demand zone, whereby I should be waiting for the price to get into this zone. Remember, we only trade when the price is already into the supply and demand zone. Again, we highlighted this one. I highlighted this one as my breaker block. Remember, actually, when it comes to the demand zone, this is how we identify a demand zone. We have a demand zone. It should be having a liquidity sweep, then having that price to the projection to the upside. If you check very well, this is actually what we are saying. Projection to the downside and then projection to the upside. Now, having covered that, what am I expecting by tomorrow? Tomorrow it is very simple, as we are expecting what we call the NFP data. It is quite simple. By tomorrow, if you check on the daily time, on the 4-hour time frame, this is actually what I'm expecting. This is now the condition. Remember, this one is not remember, this video is not a financial advice. This is just my opinion based on how I'll be expecting the Euro USD, based on the fundamental analysis. Now, get to understand, when it comes to fundamental analysis, we talked that like every analogy, every trade is taken, or every buyers is based on their interest rates, whereby we based and like we have a common say which says, whereby we say that interest rates are the heartbeat of price movement in the forex market, and therefore what actually I'm waiting for is just for the price tomorrow to deliver after the NFP data. Remember that day or this week being the first week of every the first week of every month is dedicated to the NFP, and therefore this is the thing. If tomorrow NFP happens to come negative with the surprise, that is very key. That is negative below the forecast. Remember, right now the forecast is at 66k, 64. I don't know whether it's 64. Let me check. NFP right now is at 66k. Yeah, the expectation of the forecast is 66k, and therefore, if that data comes below 66k, we expect the price to continue moving to the upside, and therefore you can consider getting into from that zone. Unfortunately, or the other way around, if NFP happens to come and comes out positive, whereby it will be a very bullish for that time for the USD, I will be expecting the price to push below into the other below here, whereby we have the next demand zone. Simple as that. So if it comes negative, we should be expecting the price to push to the upside. But if it happens to come negative, positive for the dollar, whereby it will be supporting the dollar, I'll be expecting the price to kind of drop to this demand zone before projection to the upside. Therefore, that is exactly what we shall be looking tomorrow before the NFP. Now, there's other pairs like GBP, Euro GBP. Euro GBP, this pair, I'm still holding one trade, whereby we covered everything based on this demand. And then remember, when we have this kind of thing, the entry is always, we're looking for the liquidity sweep, and then after the liquidity sweep, we still have a push to the upside, whereby is what we call the CPR, or the capture, that is now capture, pay, that is now capture, pain, relief, then move to the upside. And you check very well on this setup is actually what played into this zone. How? This is the thing. The price, remember this is 1 hour, this is the execution time frame. This is now the push to the downside. Up to that position, push to as a pullback. Then we had this pain. Then we had the push to the upside, giving us a change of character. Also getting back into this zone, and that is exactly the time we got into this position. I'm still holding that trade, that one. So let's check on the other one. On the Euro CHF, I shared this. I also shared this across my social media, whereby I was saying that we're still holding this pair. For now, I'm into massive profits, both of the setups, and then we should be looking forward to hold this trade with what we call break even. So the moment we happen to get into this zone, this is when we shall be setting our break even. Remember how we covered the fundamental analysis. If you don't know how to cover the fundamental analysis, you can consider reaching out to me. Also, you can leave a comment, and then we can get to help you. Remember, trading is very easy once you have a mentor. Now, on the GBP JPY, remember, this is a very key zone. These two of these zones. Right now, on the daily time frame, the price seems to be kind of pushing to the upside, really to the upside. But due to the fundamental, whereby we should be looking at buying GBP against the JPY. Both of them are bearish, but GBP tends to be kind of bullish. JPY tends to be more bearish compared to this compared to these, what is it? Compared to GBP, and therefore we should be looking forward to buy this. Remember, right now I'm not trading from the daily I'm not trading from the daily demand zone, which is around this zone. Sorry. Remember, I'm not trading from the daily demand zone. I'm trading from the hourly demand zone. Why am I saying that this is a demand zone? It's because after this we had a push to the upside, which is actually a very good break of structure. Right now, I have no trade. I'm just waiting for a very good CPR on the 1 hour time frame. We can see we have a break of structure on that side. We have a break of structure on that side. Then, that being a break of structure, we have a demand zone on this zone. And then what I'm expecting is to get a very good CPR from that zone. Actually, even in the 15 time frame, if you happen to check, this is actually what I'm expecting. We have not yet gotten into any kind of I have not yet seen a very good CPR. So we are waiting for the CPR move. We have this push to the downside, and also remember the 1 hour time frame is the best for the entry. So we are waiting for the CPR from this zone. If we happen to go to not get the CPR, we will not be trading that pair. Actually, that is exactly what we are expecting, and that being the thing, I can say that it's much easier for us to say we wait for tomorrow as we wait for the NFP and see how the price will actually react. Now, I go by the name again, by the, like now that is something we should be looking. Something else very interesting on gold. On gold, remember on gold, I have no trade right now. We were looking for the price to come into this demand. Unfortunately, the price didn't get into this demand, which say, like, of course, you know, when the price do not get into our demand zone, we no longer execute the trades. So tomorrow we shall be having NFP, and maybe probably the price will be testing these. I'm expecting, now this is the thing. Let me delete this one. So price might maybe probably react from that zone. And if the NFP comes out positive for the dollar, comes out positive, remember we can see the price of gold dropping massively up to this demand zone, then continuation to the upside. Unfortunately, or the other way around, or vice versa, if the price happens to come on the NFP, remember that day is dedicated for the NFP. If that NFP happens to come and comes out negative for the dollar, we can see the rally towards to the highest, which is I'm looking forward at 46,000. Will the gold get into 46,000? That is now 4600. That is 44,600 price. So that is actually what we are looking at right now. We should consider looking at. So for now, I'm much interested on the GBP JPY. GBP JPY. I'm looking forward for that entry. For that, I'm eager to see whether we can see an entry from that zone. I want to see whether we can get an entry from that zone, and then we can say that it's much good for the week. We can call it a week, that is. Yeah. Having said so, I'll be leaving that, and we can wait for the price to get to give us a CPR. Having said that, I go by the name Waweru Kelvin. I'm a currency trader and a trading coach at RatePulse Market. Therefore, you can consider leaving a comment. What else do you want me to cover? If you want to understand more, you can also consider following up on my different social media platform, whereby I get to share everything that is I need to share when it comes to market analysis. By that, I can leave you and say, have a great trading time. See you next time.